here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Fourth and goal to go with the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
All right, then I saw it as the Giants' front seven are flipping the script in 2025. Now, there was a list. Who was it? Oh, went the wrong way. Oh, wait. Is it this way? Who? Okay, hold on here. Hold on. All right, almost there. Somebody, the top 25. Is it the top 25? The NFL's best position groups for the 2025 season. I don't know. Teams are most recently in the roster of 2025. Well, this is from Yardbarker, so I'm not sure if Yardbarker picked these up or did these or not. But, you know, the Giants are on there. They obviously have one of the top 25 best position groups in all of football, right? Now you can probably figure out which one it is, but it's nice to know, right? The Giants are, young and we're building. We're building. And, if right, Shane and Dable can stick around and all of that stuff, keep adding more and more pieces to the puzzle, right? We're certainly heading in the right direction here, right? But the Giants' front seven flipping the script before the 2025 season kicks off, right? So now, of course, if you're talking the front seven, you got Sexy Dexy, right? You got Carrick, you got Abdul Carter, Micah McFadden. Now, Alexander's going to be the other tackle, but let's not forget about Nacho, but Golston, right? You got some of the other guys we brought in, but you got Burns, we got Thibodeaux. So, Giants may not have Super Bowl expectations in 2025, but there's one unit on Big Blue that does project to be one of the best in the NFL this offseason, the defensive line. Led by superstars Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns, the Giants will deploy a three-man pass rush that includes high first-round investments in Kayvon, Abdul Carter, and what could be the most feared defensive line in the NFL this year. Now, let's not forget, right? Kayvon, right? Burnsy, Sexy, and Abdul Carter, all first-round picks, right? At least it should be the most feared in the NFC. In a new ranking of the top 25 position groups in the NFL, the Giants' defensive line ranked number 6, which was the second best defensive line behind only the Steelers. Almost nothing went right for the Giants in 2024, whose hard knocks offseason, their hard knocks that backfired so spectacularly the NFL could not convince a team to film a follow-up. Right? I don't blame anybody. Even if this regime is doomed, it will at least go down swinging with a fearsome pass rush. Giants bottomed out at 3-14, left them no choice but to draft perhaps this year's best player at a single position, edge rusher Abdul Carter. Carter may not even start in year one, as he will pair with Burns and Kayvon in a situation that reminds the Giants of their NASCAR packages, right? Super Bowls 42 and 46. Adding to the stew, Dexter Lawrence remains the group's best player, occupying blockers as a all-pro nose tackle. The biggest question facing General Manager Joe Schoen right now is whether he should keep all three pass rushers or trade Kayvon, for a package of draft picks that could be critical for a rebuilding team like the Giants. I would not. Remember, Kayvon's contract runs through the 2026 season, assuming New York maintains the fifth-year option they exercised earlier this offseason. The Giants' offense remains a mystery, with Russell Wilson representing an upgraded quarterback and an offensive line that should produce better returns in 2025 now that Andrew Thomas is healthy. But can he stay healthy? If Wilson regains some of his Seahawks level from form this season, New York could be a sneaky competitive squad. If not, this team will be turned over to first-round pick Jackson Dart, which means the defense and this fearsome defensive line will determine just how many games Big Blue wins. But we go here, right? Now, of course, the number one unit in all of football, and basically one of the biggest reasons why the Eagles won the Super Bowl, is their offensive line. Right? They're number one in all of football. Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receivers are number two. This is just their opinion, right? The Cincinnati Bengals wide receivers are number three. Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line is number four. Let's not forget, once Cameron Hayward retires, he's been up there for a while. Huh? Does that say how old he is? Yeah, he's 35. So, right. I mean, and Cameron's he's a beast. No doubt about that. But 35, so somewhere along the line he's going to start going down. But anyway, they got the Detroit Lions running backs are the number 5 overall group in the NFL. Wow, a running back group. Then they have, and it says in the article, it says the Giants are the number 6. Well, they're not. The Minnesota Vikings wide receivers are number 6 group. Number 7. The New York Giants defensive line is the number 7th overall group, according to this article, in all of NFL. Now, of course, the defensive line, you can also throw in, maybe the off-ball linebackers if you want to throw that in there, because we're not exactly sure where Abdul Carter is going to be at all the time, right? Because he played off-ball linebacker in college, right? So he could get some snaps in the pros at off-ball linebacker. But also, almost nothing went right for the Giants, right? Here we go. Yeah. We're talking about this here. Their off season. But they're talking about how good, they're just talking about their defensive line. They're not talking about, Bobby Okereke, Mike McFadden, or anything like that. But then, of course, also the Eagles wide receivers are number 8. So not only did the Eagles have the best offense, according to this article, the best offensive line, the best unit in the NFL, which is their offensive line, but then their wide receivers, all right, is the 8th best group. Houston Texans defensive ends, Detroit Lions safeties, the Rams wide receivers, number 11. The Broncos secondary is number 12. The Broncos defensive line is number 13. The Falcons running backs are number 14. The Ravens running backs are 15. The Vikings defensive line is 16. Dolphins wide receivers are 17. The Buffalo Bills offensive line is 18. Rams defensive line is 19. Dallas Cowboys wide receivers are 20 because they just got Pickens. The Seahawks defensive line is 21. The Eagles linebackers are 22, right? So you're kind of wondering why the Eagles won the Super Bowl, right? The Packers offensive line is 23. The Los Angeles Chargers safeties is 24. And the Kansas City Chiefs linebackers are number 25. So, right? So, but, I mean, it's hard to argue with that. I mean, the Giants, if you just throw those 4 guys. Now, let's not forget about Golston, right? I'm not so crazy about Nacho, but I'm dying to see what Alexander can do, especially because, you have somebody like with the sexy Dexy. He helps free up. He can make other guys look better, right? Like when back in the day when you had Reggie White, you had to put 37 guys trying to block or Aaron Donald, right? You had to put 35 guys blocking Aaron Donald. Well, that kind of frees up some of the other guys to work their magic, right? So I'm very anxious to see what Alexander can do, right? Especially when you have the Godfather, Patterson, right, teaching him. So, I mean, very, very excited about him. Very, very excited. I mean, this draft class too. Very, very excited about seeing these guys on the field. Really, really excited about it.